Imagine this. One of your employees gets hurt because the safeguard on your piece of equipment was either removed or altered. Now they lawyer up and sue. What do? Let's take a closer look at what's going on with Part 2 of your workers' compensation policy titled Employer's Liability. Now in Part 1, it takes care of the injured employee, and those limits are set by the state. There's no wiggle room there. But in Part 2, well, that's a different story. You've got choices to make. Part 2 is like an insurance superhero cape that protects business owners from liabilities that don't quite fit under Part 1. You've got some flexibility here. The coverage limits range from 100,000 up to a cool million, but why should you care? Well, because these limits can make all the difference when it comes to those tricky situations. So let's break it down into 4 categories. First up, you've got the third-party action. So picture this. Your employee takes a tumble from a ladder or operates a piece of machinery without correct safeguarding, or the ladder malfunctions, and that leads to injury. Now, they decide to sue the manufacturer of the ladder or the machine that they got injured by, but guess what? They might also come after you too, claiming that you didn't maintain the equipment as recommended, and that's when your employer's liability coverage steps in to save the day. Next, we got the loss of consortium. This one's for the spouse of the injured employee who might not be able to handle the everyday tasks because of their partner's injury at work. Things like taking care of the kids, managing the house, or even walking the dog. They might seek payment from your employer's liability coverage. It's like an extra safety net. Now, here's the twist. Dual capacity is the third category. If your employee wears both the W-2 hat and a 1099 hat for your company and gets injured, they could claim loss of 1099 income due to their injury as a W-2 employee. So here's an example. They work for you, but on the side, maybe they also do snow removal. They plow your parking lot or mow your grass, and you pay them kind of as their side hustle as a 1099 employee, but they're also a W-2 employee. So if they get hurt as a W-2 employee, it's a work comp claim, and if that injury prevents them from doing their snow removal or lawn maintenance, they could file a claim due to that loss of income. And that would fall under this employer's liability coverage. It's like they're having 2 paychecks, and your employer's liability coverage might have to cover the 1099 portion. And lastly, consequential bodily injury. This is the 4th one. Now, this one's a doozy. Let's say your employee gets injured at work and their injury causes harm to a family member, like a spouse or a parent or something. It's like a chain reaction of injuries. Maybe the wife is helping the injured husband up the stairs, and while helping them, they fall. The wife falls. New injury. Okay, it'd fall under this coverage. Or maybe they get a new infection, or they get a new injury at physical therapy, things like that. If it's related to the initial job-related injury, your employer's liability coverage steps in. Now, what if you need more coverage than the $1 million maximum that's allowed? Well, then you can buy a commercial umbrella policy. And it's like adding an extra layer of armor to the insurance. Here's the thing. If your work comp carrier isn't the same as your umbrella carrier or insurance company, make sure your workers' comp policy number is listed on your umbrella policy. So take a look at your umbrella policy and make sure that the policy number of your work comp policy is listed on the umbrella policy. Last tidbit, check that your workers' comp limits meet the minimum required of your umbrella policy. If your employer's liability limits are a mere 100,000 and you purchase a $5 million umbrella, more than likely you won't magically have $5.1 million in coverage. Usually you need at least $500,000 on your employer's liability limit in your work comp policy for that umbrella to kick in. So there you have it. A little deep dive on employer's liability limits on an umbrella. Now, don't leave these crucial details hanging out there. Check your coverage, cross your T's, dot your I's, and make sure you're ready for whatever curveballs come your way. Because when it comes to insurance, being prepared is your best defense. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe. And remember, Risk-Surance is a blend of risk management and business insurance with a little bit of bad humor, all designed to make your life easier. Stay safe out there.